Thanksgiving tier list. We are ranking the Thanksgiving food. First one, turkey. Turkey's A tier. S tier, highest level. Turkey is the foundation. Turkey is the number one stunner. You got to get turkey. This is what Thanksgiving was built on. Turkey is going elite. Now, I will listen to the argument that turkey is arguably better after Thanksgiving in the form of sandwiches, leftovers, even cold turkey. Just walking by the fridge, oops, sneaking a little pop, a little oops, turkey here, turkey there. Turkey sandwiches, heavy on the mayo, extra heavy on the black pepper. And that's not a racial thing against white pepper. Next up, pumpkin pie. All right, as Bernie Mac says, I never had no damn pumpkin pie. But pumpkin pie, probably the best pie. Well, I am from Mississippi, so I am from the deep south, live in New Orleans. And pecan pie, or pecan pie, as my friends up north say, pecan pie is the best pie to me. Pumpkin pie is up there, sweet potato pie is up there, apple pie, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So pumpkin pie is elite. But if pecan pie was in here, pecan pie would be the most elite. Apple pie. Look, you have to make hard decisions in Thanksgiving. You have to make tough decisions. You can't get everything, right? You can't get everything. And apple pie is one of those things where apple pie generally good. Apple pie, when it's competing at Thanksgiving, I'm passing because I can get apple pie all throughout the year. July 4th, just randomly. So I'm going to say it's a hard pass during Thanksgiving. Now, I'm not ranking this in general. I'm ranking this during Thanksgiving. Thus, apple pie is getting passed on my plate. Biscuits. Okay, now biscuits, again. Now, this is controversial yet brave. Biscuits, generally delicious. But during Thanksgiving, they lose to them rolls, right? So I'm not going to get a biscuit during Thanksgiving because I've got rolls happening. I've got way too much else happening on my plate to worry about a biscuit. So I'm passing on the biscuits. During the year, A+, S tier biscuits. Brussels. Love Brussels sprouts. Love Brussels sprouts. Here's another way I look at Thanksgiving or look at holidays. I generally don't want to eat things during Thanksgiving or a holiday that I eat throughout the year. I eat Brussels sprouts all the time, probably 3 times a week. I'm not eating them on Thanksgiving. I may have a couple if you've got like the chard or like a special kind of Brussels sprouts. With just Brussels, I'm probably not touching them because I eat them all the time. So I'm not going to get involved with the Brussels during Thanksgiving. Squash, we may actually let's actually make a separate row for squash. Let's get squash. This is just a tier for squash. This is in the squash tier. Why is this even an option? Who's getting squash? Not me. So is this a thing at Thanksgiving? Do people eat squash? Not me. Jellied cranberry. Controversial yet brave again. Jellied cranberry is S tier. It is the only way to eat cranberry during Thanksgiving. I want the gelatinous, jello-looking can of cranberry. I want the ridges. I want to be able to read the nutritional facts that were on the can indented into the gel, into this gelatinous burgundy kind of substance that they're calling cranberry sauce. I love it. You walking by and getting you a little slice of that jelly cranberry, slapping it on the turkey or slapping it on the roll. 10 out of 10. Love it so damn much. Again, for leftover turkey sandwiches, you can put on a little, act like it's a tomato. Act like it's like something like that. Put on your sandwich. You go mayonnaise, black pepper, turkey, and then a slat of that thing up with a little bit of jellied cranberry. So S tier, 100%. Green bean casserole is definitely great. I'm not putting it elite because I'm probably just getting one serving of it. It's going to be on that first plate. It's going to be on that initial plate. And then I'll probably going to mix up the sides. But green bean casserole will absolutely get some play during my Thanksgiving. Cornbread, I love cornbread. But it's not really utilized in my Thanksgiving. Cornbread's one of those things where if I just keep eating throughout the day and they have a tray of it out, I may accidentally grab a square and I may go ahead and knock down some cornbread. But it's way below the rolls. It's way below that kind of stuff. It's above biscuits, and it's in the okay because there's a chance I could eat some cornbread just grazing throughout the day. So I'm not going to put it hard pass or squash. Corn is another one of those things, right? Corn all the time. I actually don't eat corn all the time, but corn's always available, right? Corn on the cob's always available, barbecues, whatnot. Cream corn's available, popcorn's available. Corn doesn't get the juices flowing in my world. It just doesn't. I'm passing. I know that at my Thanksgiving we'll have the the corn with the cheese, like kind of the southwestern corn, like chilies and that kind of stuff in it, the sour cream kind of mix. And I probably won't get it because it's available all the time. So I'll probably just pass on the corn because, again, you've got to be strategic when it comes to these Thanksgiving plates. You can't get full on stuff like corn on the cob. Cranberry sauce also gets its own tier here. If you're, it's one of those situations, ladies and gentlemen, where if you're going cranberry sauce over jellied cranberry, you just need to be humbled. You need to be humbled. You need to understand where you came from. You need to have a little bit of humility about you. Anyone eating cranberry chutney or cranberry sauce is reading too many Barefoot Contessa magazines, and they're just not really a human being. How could you possibly eat this when the jellied version is better? I just don't understand it. Cranberry sauce is the worst tier. I don't even want to be in the same kind of place that cranberry sauce is accepted, because if that's the case, they just don't understand what Thanksgiving is all about. And I don't want to be spending my Thanksgiving with people who don't understand what it's all about. Next up is cream corn. Same situation here. See, this is what I was talking about. There's too many versions of corn throughout the year: corn on the cob, popcorn, cream corn, southwestern corn, to where we have 2 corn options. That seems weird to me. I do think cream corn is better than corn on the cob, which is being shown here, but cream corn's getting passed up as well. I'm just not interested in anything that corn has to offer during Thanksgiving. Dinner rolls, obviously elite. You need dinner rolls virtually in every situation. You got to have that. Like, I did the Pepsi Coke challenge one year where I had to take a blind sip of Pepsi and a blind sip of Coke and see which one was better. In between the sips, they gave me oyster crackers to cleanse my palate. This is also in a shopping mall in South Mississippi, so this may have not even been sanctioned by Coke or Pepsi. That's how I feel like dinner rolls are. Rolls are, you just had some green bean casserole. Now you're moving on to the sweet potato casserole. In between that, get you a bite of the roll. Now you're moving into the turkey, get you a bite of that roll. Now you're moving to pecan pie, get you a bite of that roll. The roll is always going to be there for you. Throughout the day, you should probably be looking at 8 to 12 rolls alone. And then, of course, you got to think about stuffing the rolls with like turkey, cranberry. You make a little sandwich. There's a lot of versatility to those rolls. Gravy, the number one. Gravy is the most S tier, the most elite. Gravy is why Christopher Columbus sailed to America and stole the country from Native Americans, was to get the gravy. You can't have anything without gravy. You cannot have the holiday without gravy. My plate will have, if I have turkey, green bean casserole, roll, if I have all that on my plate, it will all be covered in gravy. Gravy is the sauce. Gravy makes it happen. Gravy is what it's all about. Without gravy, you can't have turkey. Without gravy, you can't have rolls. Gravy is the unsung hero of Thanksgiving. It is the best thing possible at all times. So gravy is the number one. Ham, I like ham a lot. I like ham arguably more than turkey, but turkey is Thanksgiving, right? You can't go like 70% ham, 30% turkey. It's Thanksgiving. So I will have some ham, but it's great. Ham is great. Ham isn't elite because this isn't ham's time to shine. Ham will have its other time to shine. This is really its time to shine. There's no pigs getting sanctioned or whatever it's called at the White House like turkeys do. Turkeys get saved or whatever. Pigs don't get saved. Pigs will be there for you. But again, I do love a ham. I will absolutely eat ham, but I'll do it in secret. Macaroni and cheese, controversial yet brave take again. Macaroni and cheese is not part of my Thanksgiving spread. I think macaroni and cheese is more of an amateur situation. Macaroni and cheese is so normal. You eat macaroni and cheese all the time. 9-year-old children who are hungry and are forced to feed themselves usually reach for a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's not a holiday meal. I don't think it should be involved in the holidays. How many times have you seen a 9-year-old kid reach for something and to feed themselves and they pull down a whole turkey? How many times does a kid whip up a bowl of green bean casserole? Never. Kids make pizza rolls, they make hot pockets, they make toaster strudels, they make macaroni and cheese. Do you see toaster strudels as part of your Thanksgiving spread? Do you see pizza rolls part of your Thanksgiving spread? Do you see hot pockets as part of your Thanksgiving spread? No, you do not. So macaroni and cheese, I don't think should be on there. It's much too amateur hour. I'm hard passing macaroni and cheese. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh no, that's my favorite part." Well, that's because you have the palate of a 7-year-old, and that's really kind of embarrassing on you. So if your Thanksgiving plate is macaroni and cheese, dinosaur-shaped chicken tenders, and a box of Nerds, maybe you should leave the kids' table and grow up a little bit, Peter Pan. Mashed potatoes is next. Mashed potatoes is good. Right? Mashed potatoes are good, and want to know why they're good? Because of gravy. So I'm putting mashed potatoes as okay because they're so tied to gravy, right? They have a +1, or they are the +1. The mashed potatoes are gravy's +1. No one's just inviting mashed potatoes to the party. People are inviting mashed potatoes just because they think that if they invite mashed potatoes, they'll invite gravy and gravy will be at their party. Gravy is the cool kid that everyone wants at their party, and mashed potatoes is the kind of dweeb that gravy hangs out with. So I understand that. I'm not giving mashed potato all the credit here. By itself, it's ass. With gravy, it's good, but there's so much stuff like that. Red wine is on here. Look, the holidays are a great excuse to get absolutely lit to the moon. Whatever your drink of choice is up to you. I'm not one to judge. My usual plan is I go mimosas / champagne hard in the morning. I get to lunch, I eat my lunch, then it's time for whiskey. Then it's time for Maker's Mark specifically. Maker's and water, Maker's and soda takes me into the night. Now, if you're a red wine kind of person and you go from the champs to the red wine or some sangria, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's ridiculous. I'm putting it at okay. It's just not part of my process, but it is what it is. Sparkling juice. I'm going to pretend like this is champagne. If this is champagne, it's absolutely elite. We'll get seconds because I'm going to have really kind of a disgusting amount of champagne throughout Thanksgiving. Roasted vegetables. What the hell is roasted vegetables even doing on here? Again, this isn't part of my spread. I'm not even sure what this is. I'm putting this in the same group of Brussels sprouts. I eat roasted vegetables 5 times a week. I eat roasted vegetables every night with chicken breast and a salad or whatever. So, oven baked fish. I'm not going to sit here. What even is all this? Like carrots, red potatoes. Who's eating roasted vegetables during Thanksgiving? That's not what the holidays are all about. That almost makes me wish Thanksgiving wasn't happening if you're having roasted vegetables. Scalloped potatoes. I love scalloped potatoes just in general, but they're not available during Thanksgiving. If they are available, I will absolutely get some. So, I would get some. If they're available, I'm getting scalloped potatoes. I just don't have any experience with them during Thanksgiving. So, stuffing. Okay. Now, there is a lot of talk between what's stuffing and what's dressing. I call it stuffing, and specifically stovetop stuffing. Stovetop stuffing is the best stuffing. Stovetop stuffing is elite. Stovetop stuffing is one of my favorite parts of Thanksgiving. Why? Because of gravy. I'm getting stovetop stuffing, and I'm putting so much gravy on it turns into a soup. So I love stovetop stuffing. I like it just as is, out of the box. Now, I know some people do like cornbread dressing. They'll do oyster dressing. Where I'm from, we do a little seafood dressing kind of situation. Both are delicious. If you had to ask me what's the difference between dressing and stuffing, I really have absolutely no idea. I've never had stuffing that was inside of a turkey. I think once you start putting things inside of animal carcasses, things get a little weird and get a little dark, and that's not really for me. You see people stuff turkeys with all kind of stuff, and then they pull it out of the carcass and eat it. All of a sudden, you just made Thanksgiving like a Saw game or like a scene in Hostel. I'm not really about that life. So stuffing by itself outside of the animal carcass is delicious, and it absolutely will be on every plate. It is a foundation. Sweet potato casserole, everyone makes it differently. Some people have nuts in it. Some people have marshmallows on top. Some people don't. Mine is absolutely marshmallow on top, brown sugar. Again, that's not a racial thing, just brown sugar and roasted creme brulee style on the top. It's a smooth sweet potato situation. Some people have it chunkier. Mine's a real blended smooth thing. And guess what? That's going great. I'm more of a savory kind of fella with my food versus a sweet kind of fella. Some people like the sweets, some people like the savories. So I'm going more for the turkey gravy stuffing, rolls, green bean casserole, the savory stuff. So I will go one serving of sweet potato casserole just to say I did it, and then that'll be it for me. So I'm not going to put it elite, but I do love sweet potato casserole. And I eat sweet potatoes all the time. I eat sweet potatoes 3-4 times a week, and I still rank sweet potato casserole highly because it's so damn good. And that marshmallow layer on top makes it different than just eating a baked sweet potato. So that is my Thanksgiving tier list. Let me know what you think, where I got it right, where I got it wrong. I would assume a lot of people below are going to be tearing me up for my macaroni and cheese take, but I don't care, because when you go back to 3rd grade or wherever after you type in the comments, then then I'll see you in a couple years when you get an advanced palate like myself. So have a good Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for watching this.